My 31, 3 common kids, wife 30, of 7 years separated, then had affair. Now some childhood trauma came up and I don't know how I can, or if I even should, get rid of the hope of reconciliation. To cut a long backstory short, my wife, 30, and I, 31, have been living separated for about 1.5 years, married for 7 years. 1 year of it in the same house, because of our 3 children. Currently living with me, but the new agreement will be 3 and 4 days in alternation with each of us parents. Before the separation, there was a marriage crisis, also some bad bedroom problems, which we have tried to solve with professional help, but at this time, she probably already did not want any more. Before the new arrangement, we saw each other regularly and also talked. Now, she has recently remembered that as a child, she had a very traumatic experience, which was probably triggered during the marriage crisis. There are also parallels to what happened. She will discuss this and other unprocessed with a psychologist and has already made an appointment. Since she moved out, she has already had several affairs because for her, the marriage only exists on paper anymore. She is also more or less looking for something new, but is also still unclear what she wants at all. Before the childhood trauma came out, I was actually ready to inform myself about divorce law steps because I realized there was no hope. But since I know about the trauma, I'm not really sure anymore. Somehow, I have the hope that through the psychological talks that are pending, she can process all the problems and pain from the time before me, and also what happened in the crisis, and then possibly imagine coming back. I know the chance of this is extremely small, and it would probably be healthier for me to just make the cut, but somehow I can no longer let her go so easily because of the new knowledge. Her understandable reason why she doesn't want to try it again is the lack of trust and the fear that it will fall back into the old pattern after a certain time. I'm pretty messed up emotionally and also scared of the decisions I'll probably have to make and accept. I think I need someone with a neutral point of view. If anyone has any tips on how I can change my mindset to stop seeing hope, I would also appreciate it. Update. Confronted my wife that I read her messages with the other guys. Kicked her out from the kid's birthday party. Some time has passed since my last post. Small recap. Wife moved out a while ago. In the meanwhile, met and had sexual contact with other men. Due to the new findings, childhood trauma for which she now wants to go to therapy, not sure if she actually is doing it. I was not sure whether I should have hope or not. I have since tried to keep the contact to a minimum and only discuss things that concern the children. This has worked more or less well. We still had a lot of contact, especially because of the upcoming birthday of one of our children. I felt better, but of course still had many bad thoughts about what she does or doesn't do in regards with men. During the last conversation, she assured me that she will not meet any other men anymore, because she doesn't want to, and she has to find out what she really wants first. I was sure that she does it anyway, but had no proof. Then was the birthday of my child. We were together with the family. She was of course also present. For me it was super weird. I felt really uncomfortable, as she does on One Happy Life and speaking like a friend to me. Well, everything is broken. I also felt that something was weird. The kid's birthday party was planned for the day after. I called her in the morning and told her I thought it would be better if she didn't come. The kids were with me that day anyway. I explained why, but she insisted on coming. The party was going well, kids had fun and all, but I couldn't resist, and then it happened. I couldn't stand it. I checked her cell phone and read the messages that she was of course seeing 1 or 2 men, and that they were also coming to her house and spending the night. I must say that I mentioned several times that I didn't want my children to sleep in the same bed where she was doing things with men. She agreed with me and said she didn't want that either. In an angry reaction, I told her to leave the party. When she asked why, I told her that I had read her messages. After that, it escalated a bit. She was angry because I have disregarded her privacy. I did not care. I told her how she can be so dishonest and she should leave. Told her that I never want to see her again. She tried to justify herself with sentences like, "I tried not to see him again, but I'm only human and weak," and blah blah blah. It got a bit ugly in the conversation, but then she left. Later, I got a message where she admitted to sleep with men and that she will continue to meet with the one. She said she didn't give a crap about me now, and she doesn't care about my feelings anymore. She said how great the sex is and that she has orgasms. She literally wrote that. She also wants to report me for violating her privacy. She thinks I hacked her phone or installed some software, but I still had a fingerprint registered, and said I provoked her. For me, this was the final line. I now have an appointment with a lawyer and will file for divorce. But what takes me hard is the sentence about the sex. I realize that she wrote that out of anger to hurt me, but it still knocked my confidence. Our sex life was always okay, but nothing special. I was her first and she was always rather reserved to discover her own sexual passion. Had also mentioned earlier that she liked her experience. I'm also afraid now that it will come to an ugly divorce, and it will be more of a rose war. Also regarding the children and the fact that they will eventually see their mother with another man. I had a conversation yesterday with my daughter, close to 10 years old, who doesn't want to be with her mother because she feels uncomfortable there. She was sad because she wants her mother to move back in. I tried to explain to her why that is not going to happen. I told her that it has nothing to do with the children, that mom still loves her, and I still love her more than anything and will always be there for her. I'm not sure how much I can tell my daughter. Something like that she is dating other men, I think is rather wrong to say. I'm also really scared about the future and how I will feel, how my kids will be, how long it will take me to get over my wife, etc. I'm also not sure what to expect from the post. Probably I just need some encouraging words about the 4 paragraphs. You want advice? Here it comes. Appropriate Design 45 says, keep your mind focused on the kiddos, man, and everything will be okay. It may not be great for a while, but keeping your kids your highest priority will keep you on track. The OP responds, I will. And good for me, my daughter wants to stay with me the whole time. Otherwise, I would have on-off weeks with my kids, which I guess would me bring in some really hard times. More advice from Fragrant Spray. You now understand what I'm sure people told you before. Your wife's interest in reconciliation was only as long as it required no real sacrifices on her side. I wouldn't expect she'll follow through with the therapy either. This may not get too contentious if she's loving her new life, but get a good lawyer and prepare for the worst. Do not take her back when she comes crying after she figures out that the guys she sleeps with don't want to commit to her. The OP replies, I got told that before, but wasn't able to process or accept it. I wish I would have accepted it earlier. Would have saved me a lot of pain, I guess. But yeah, I have an upcoming appointment with a lawyer. Good thing is, I am located in Germany, and here it's really unlikely that I don't get at least 50-50 custody. Hopefully more, but I don't think so. I have to admit, I'm not sure if I am brave enough to reject her if she comes back, but I think that confidence will come the more I have no contact with her. Our next thought comes from Quasarcodal. You know your value and hers. Good for you and your kids. If you can, collect as much proof as you can, so that maybe you'll be able to have the high ground regarding child custody. She has mental problems and won't end well for her. What she's doing is nothing special. Many people in her position let loose as a way to feel alive or to boost their self-confidence. After a while, they get tired of it, and I wouldn't be surprised if she came back sooner or later. Regarding her orgasms, as you said, it's BS, only aimed at hurting you under the belt. No pun intended. Even if it's not, you'll have your orgasms, in whatever form they may come, even unrelated to the sexual sphere. The OP replies, I also thought about that, but I guess it's too late to collect proof as I won't see her anymore, hopefully. I'm also located in Germany. Here you need really strong reasons to get full child custody, which normally isn't the case. Quasarcodal comes back. If not full, maybe primary, and I wouldn't delete the text she sent you. I am optimistic her behavior will come bite her butt back, one way or another. The OP replies, yeah, I saved it, and will for future stuff if she sends something. I also think that the whole thing won't go as she imagines. I mean, she met this dude online, and he knows she has kids. He probably says all the things she needs to hear and manipulating her this way to feel very special. But at some point, he will just drop her off when things get too serious, and he is bored of her. Of course, this is not what it has to be, but I think in most cases, male part of these only dating sites are only looking for the free sex. And in her current state, she is definitely an easy, naive victim, just overly sad how she developed in the wrong direction. Moving on. Her affair partner is back in the picture. Not even 2 months ago, I found out 22 female, my 22 male, boyfriend has been emotionally, technologically, and physically cheating on me while we were on a trip together. I stayed on the trip. We did the whole holidays together thing. And then his affair partner told me how much they made a mistake and that she knows he loves me enough to sleep with someone else, and then some. Boyfriend and I tried to make things work, but I kept getting flashbacks and felt as though I didn't need or want someone who's choosing others over me, nor an on and off again partner. I wrote him a letter, left it for him, and tried to cut contact. We broke up for a week. I mourned, and he just went back to virtually messing around. The space was nice for me as I got to process my emotions. After the week, we cut up, and he was hesitant to try again, but wanted to. However, last night, I got a DM saying he's leaving me for her along with screenshots of messages to his mom, the girl's mom, and my boyfriend. I called him crying. He was mad, and I told him we can talk tomorrow if he needed space, as he was trying to figure out who it was. 45 to 60 minutes later, he calls me asking for my recent emojis, texts, etc., since he had suspicions. I asked if he talked to her, and he finally told me yes. Without my knowledge, my boyfriend unblocked her, DM'd her, refollowed each other, and talked on the phone. I got upset, which was followed by, "See, this is why I lie." It hadn't even been that long since they cut each other off for good. In my humble opinion, I feel like she has him wrapped around her finger and she knows it. Anyways, my boyfriend accused me of this whole scheme because the day before yesterday, I told him I wasn't sad anymore, just mad. The cheating went on for months and I never knew. I thought we were in love. The messages were personal numbers and included names. These people live in another state. I don't know their names or anything. I feel like she's plotting this to see if he will go back to her or he's doing it and she's convinced him I did it. I believe in karma, not needing to out someone, let alone to their families. We were doing so good until last night when he said, "This is why I didn't even want to try again." Him and I haven't really talked since then. Besides when I called him to be safe in the winter storm, he said, "You do know I work, right?" And of course, I'm starting to think he's talking to her. He doesn't want to break up with me, and I'm not ready to walk away, but I'm tired of being the second choice. Our first reaction comes from Monkey Moves 101. Why are you trying so hard to keep someone who doesn't want to be kept? Please leave him again and never go back. Please. You were so close to recovering. You can do it again. The OP responds, I've been asking myself that for a bit. When we met, he said he needed to see other people to know if he wants me. Then we dated. He dumped me. But we still saw each other all the time. Got back together, and 2 months after dating is the earliest I found receipts of the cheating to have started. Naive to say, but I don't like the idea of losing my best friend. Great friends, horrible partners. B10KH3D says, he is pretty gross. Why do you let someone treat you like that? Next reaction from Like Smoke 8258. Well then prepare for a lot of heartbreak. If you choose this guy knowing full well he doesn't even love you that much, and you're always going to be the second option, then prepare to be treated as such. You can't go around crying talking about how much he's hurting you when you're allowing him to do so just because you love him. You're just going to look stupid, and it may sound mean, but it's the truth. Pathetic. I have a friend who's going through the same crap, and I hear the same things that you said over and over and over and over and over again. Yet she's at her worst mentally, has a bad image of herself because of him, and doubts how good of a girlfriend she is when she's literally a queen. You deserve better because, I promise you, there is more fish in the sea. I get why you want to stay. You have a history with him, and you don't want to throw the history away. But history and love won't save an already failing relationship. Think clear and straight, and get your head out of the love fog and see things for how they really are. And I promise you, you are going to save yourself from so much BS. Our last reaction from Nearby Dream 1. You were so close to making the right decision last time. I feel like this is a sign that you should double back on breaking up with him and get out of there. Never beg someone to be in a relationship with you after they were the ones that made the mistake. He was hesitant about getting back with you after he was the one that cheated. Why are you begging to give this man the chance to walk all over you again? You don't deserve to be the second choice. You don't deserve to constantly be on edge about what his next affair partner will try, because it's clear she's on a mission to win it back, and be on edge about whether he is cheating on you again. This is an all-around messy situation that will only end in tears, more specifically, your tears. Choose yourself. Choose your self-esteem. Choose your freedom and get out. Let your boyfriend be with his affair partner for all you care. You will find someone that puts you first and doesn't have to be dragged reluctantly into a relationship with you. Sending love.